Hello guys, how are you all? It's your boy Rishi here. Welcome to Pen and Paper. I hope you and your family are doing completely fine. I'm good here too, and let's start today's video. In the last video, we talked about how to balance chemical equations. In this video, we shall learn the different types of chemical reactions. So, mainly, we have 5 types of chemical reactions: combination, decomposition, displacement, double displacement, and redox. Let's start with combination reactions. For understanding them, just take a look at this equation. A plus B becomes C. This is what a combination reaction is. When elements or compounds combine together to form just one product, we say a combination reaction has taken place. For example, when quicklime reacts with water, it forms liquid lime. Here, two compounds combine together to form just one product, that is why we call it a combination reaction. Next come decomposition reactions. They are in the form of A becomes B plus C. As you can see, they are the exact opposites of the combination reactions. In decomposition reactions, one compound breaks into two or more elements or compounds. For example, when calcium carbonate is heated, it forms calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. As you can see here, one compound is breaking into two, that is why we say it a decomposition reaction. Now, displacement reactions. In displacement reactions, one element displaces another element from its compound. Let's suppose AB is a compound and C here is an element. So, in a displacement reaction, this C is going to take place of A in AB to make CB, and when this happens, we say A has been displaced. Let's take an example. When we place an iron nail in a copper sulfate solution, the iron displaces copper to form ferric sulfate. Next is double displacement reactions. In these type of reactions, the reactant ions exchange their places to form new products. Let us suppose we have two compounds AB and CD. A and C are cations here, whereas B and D are anions. So what's going to happen in this double displacement reaction? This A cation is going to combine with D anion to produce AD, whereas this C cation is going to combine with B anion to produce CB. Here's an example to understand this. We have two compounds here, BaCl2 and Na2SO4. BaCl2 has two ions, Ba2 plus and Cl minus, whereas Na2SO4 has Na plus and SO4, 2 minus ions. So what's going to happen in this double displacement reaction? This Ba2 plus is going to combine with SO4 2 minus to produce BaSO4, and this Na plus is going to combine with Cl minus to produce NaCl. This is the double displacement reaction. Now it's the turn of redox reactions. The word redox means reduction and oxidation. These two words have different meanings in different contexts. For example, in the context of oxygen, reduction means removal of oxygen, whereas oxidation means addition of oxygen. So as we can see in this example, O is getting removed from CuO, therefore we say CuO is being reduced, whereas it is getting added to H2, therefore we say H2 is getting oxidized over here. So now in terms of hydrogen, the addition of hydrogen is called reduction, whereas its removal is called oxidation. So for example, as H is getting removed from H2S here, it is getting oxidized, whereas it is being added to Cl2, that is why it is being reduced. And yeah, there are two more terms that we have to remember over here: oxidizing agent and reducing agent. The substance which gets reduced during a chemical reaction, it is also called the oxidizing agent, whereas the substance which gets oxidized during a chemical reaction, it is also called the reducing agent. Suppose we are given this chemical reaction and we are asked which one of the substances got oxidized, which one got reduced, which is the oxidizing agent and which is the reducing agent. How do we find out this? Well, we'll solve this step by step. As you can see here, oxygen got removed from zinc oxide, right? So we would say zinc oxide got reduced, as the removal of oxygen is called what? It's called reduction. Now, as oxygen got added to C here, we would say C got oxidized, as addition of oxygen is called what? It's called oxidation. Now, which one is the oxidizing agent? Well, the substance which gets reduced itself is called the oxidizing agent. So here, zinc oxide got reduced, therefore it's also the oxidizing agent. Now, reducing agent, the substance which gets oxidized itself, it's called the reducing agent, therefore C, which got oxidized here, is also the reducing agent. I hope you understand this, and we would solve these type of questions just like this. Now we have to study the effects of oxidation reactions in our everyday life. In this class, we just have to remember two effects. The first is corrosion and the second is rancidity. Moving on to the first, what is corrosion? Well, corrosion is the process by which metals get destroyed gradually by the action of air. For example, rusting of iron and the corrosion of copper. The corrosion destroys the metal. Therefore, we have to prevent the corrosion by coating the surface by a layer of another metal, for example, zinc on iron, or by coating surface with grease, paint, or oil. The next is rancidity. Sometimes you must have experienced the change of taste and smell of food after some time. What is it? Well, it is rancidity. The fats and oils present in our food get slowly oxidized when kept in open, which results in unpleasant smell and taste of the food. It is called rancidity. So, how can we prevent it? We can prevent it by packing the food in tight containers, by storing it in refrigerator, or by placing the food materials away from direct sunlight. So now that we have studied the main 5 types of chemical reactions, there are few more types of chemical reactions that we have to take a look at. Now, the first type of chemical reactions are exothermic reactions and endothermic reactions. Exo means exit, to come out. So the reactions in which heat comes out or is evolved are known as exothermic. For example, the process of respiration in which glucose is broken down with the help of oxygen and heat is evolved during this reaction. Endo means inside, so the reactions in which heat is required or heat is absorbed are called as endothermic reactions. For example, when limestone is heated, it forms quicklime and carbon dioxide, and without heat, this reaction will not occur. The next type of chemical reactions are electrolytic decomposition reactions and photodecomposition reactions. These both are decomposition reactions, therefore a substance must be getting broken down here. So where electricity is required to break a substance, it's called electrolytic decomposition. For example, when electricity is passed through water, it breaks down into hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. And when rather sunlight is made into use for breaking a substance, it's called photodecomposition. For example, when silver bromide is kept in sunlight, it breaks down into silver and bromine gas. The last type that we're going to study is precipitation reactions. So the reactions in which a precipitate comes out are called as precipitation reactions. For example, when ferrous chloride and sodium hydroxide are made to react with each other, they form ferrous hydroxide and NaCl, where ferrous hydroxide is a dirty green colored precipitate. So I think this is enough for today. Only one topic of this chapter is left, which I'm gonna upload really soon. After that, our first chapter of chemistry will be completed. And with that, I'll upload a combined video of all the topics. So let's meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Love you all.